Hey friends, how are you today? May I steal just a few minutes of your precious time? Are you a podcast fan? There are so many interesting podcasts out there, whether it's true crime or self help. But I think I have something even more intriguing and special for you, a podcast where real people tell their real stories. It's called ThoughtVolution, a blend of thought and evolution without the E, because it's all about evolving your mind, learning something new, perhaps even changing a long held belief, or at least seeing that opinion challenged for a moment. You can even interact with guests, raise your own questions. It's a really unique and impactful format that reminds us that everyday heroes, neighbors, friends, regular people like you and like me tell the best and most authentic stories. Let's stop worshiping celebrities and billionaires and instead celebrate how regular people use human resilience to overcome some of life's most difficult times, how they deal with grief, disease, pain, heartache, or just an ever changing world. When listening to ThoughtVolution, you will meet guests like Anna, who lived through drug addiction, depression, a stroke, two very unhappy marriages. Ever wondered what that must be like?
Yes, you're right. There are a few that have died from drug overdoses. I hadn't heard of any lately, but when we were younger, I just told somebody that the other day. I said, that's one of the privileges of getting old. All your friends that you did bad things or ne'er-do-well things with, they start passing away, so people don't know your secrets unless you tell them. And that's about the truth of it. So yeah, I've lost some of them. Some of them didn't make it out. Yeah.
Or guests like Haley, who learned to love herself and to rely on herself during her darkest moments, especially when she found out that her husband was having an affair.
Like, this was the first, like, massive betrayal. There had been, like I said, there were other red flags and things that had happened. But finding out, like, it was my friend and stuff like that, like, it absolutely, it crushed me. It felt like I had spent so much time when I finally got away from, like, 17-year-old me. The dream at that time, after finally getting out of, like, my house, like, my childhood house, was that one day I wanted to have a family where it was solid.
Or perhaps you share an emotional moment with someone like Donnie, who made it through a sad childhood and 6 years and 2 months of a wrongful incarceration just to end up becoming a successful entrepreneur and proving everyone wrong.
When I was young, my life was pretty much, it was rough. I come from a very poor background. I lost my mother at a very early age. She died in a car wreck on my second birthday. My father was in prison shortly after that, about 2 years, and has been in prison since 1984 and is still incarcerated. We didn't have a lot of money, just one car.
And what about Erin, who will tell us about long COVID affecting her in so many painful ways, while also teaching her about the preciousness of life?
But as my body was regaining strength, I was suddenly so aware of how precious my life was, how close I came to, I hope I don't cry, how close I came to not being able to take another breath. And when I was in the hospital, especially when I was in ICU, I was a unique ICU case because I was conscious. And, being in that ICU and knowing that not everybody gets to leave that ICU.
There are so many stories, and you can even become a guest yourself. Yep, you. We want to hear your story. New episodes air every Tuesday, and boy, I'm not exaggerating when I promise that ThoughtVolution is bound to become your new favorite podcast. Check out thoughtvolutionpodcast.com, that is thoughtvolutionpodcast.com, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, or wherever you listen to podcasts. My guests cannot wait to meet you, and I cannot wait for you to meet them. Let's change the narrative together and normalize regular people as our true everyday heroes. Again, thoughtvolutionpodcast.com. Thank you. I'll see you there.